Welcome to Saving Us, where we discuss relationships in marriage, family, and beyond. Relationships are hard work and should be a priority. These discussions are here to help you navigate the waters of insecurity and frustration and hopefully guide you to a place of peaceful fulfillment in your own relationships. Welcome to this episode of Saving Us. I am your hostess, Deetra, and this is
Michael,
my co-host. And we are outside again. Why? I'm not sure. But on this episode of Saving Us, we are talking about having a friendship. Is your spouse your best friend? Or is your spouse even your friend? Is it important to be friends before you get married? Or is that not important? What are your thoughts, Mr. Michael?
Oh, is it important that which question? Is your spouse your friend?
Is it important for your spouse to be your friend before
you're
you
married?
get married?
Yes, I think it is important to some degree for your spouse to be your friend before you get married, because this way you have something to base your marriage on other than attractiveness and sex and stuff like that, I guess. So that's friendship, I think, makes a good foundation for any relationship, obviously, but
Yes. So you say yes, it is important.
I think it's important. Yeah.
On a scale of 1 to 10, with 1 being not important at all and 10 being the most important thing,
Oh, Lord.
what would you rate friendship before marriage?
Friendship before marriage, the importance?
The importance.
I'd say 7.875.
7.875.
Yes.
Okay, and when we say it's important for what? Why is it important for you to be friends before
Right.
you get married?
It's important for the success of the marriage.
For the longevity of the marriage and the success.
And the success.
The happiness of the marriage.
The happiness and longevity, because those could be two different things.
True. Happiness and So, being friends before you get married, according to us, people who are not marriage experts or marriage therapists.
Right. At all.
We just been hanging in there for a long time.
Hanging.
It's important because it adds to the happiness of the marriage. Yes?
Right. Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Is that what you think?
So
what do you think?
Okay, what do I think? I think being friends is important. How long should you be friends before you're married? I'm not sure. And what do you mean by friendship? Like, how close are friends?
Oh, Lord.
Like, are you best friends
Right.
before you get married? And what about those people who see each other and they just know
Right.
that person
That's
is the
true.
one?
Mm-hmm.
And they have not been friends before, and then their marriage lasts a long time, and maybe they had a very short engagement,
Right.
6 months or 3 months or whatever, and they stay married and they're just fine.
So speaking of that real quick, not to take a detour, but I don't know if we talked about this in the Finding Your True Love, how do you know that one is your true love episode, but or if we talked about this before, but do you think it's possible to see somebody across the room and just know that's the one for me forever? I mean, is that just
Do I
the
think
movies,
that is possible?
or does that happen?
I think it's possible. Well, I think it's possible to see somebody and have an inkling. Now, you said you just know.
You just know.
I think it's possible and have a feeling. Yes. So a knowing. Yes. I'll say yes. I think it's possible.
You'll say yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I think it's possible.
Okay. Because I know that's a big thing, when saw them across the room and their time stands still, and we start moving toward each other, and we meet at the top of the Empire State Building, and we just know. So, I don't know. I guess it is possible. I think it's possible also. I think it's possible, yeah.
Yeah, I do. I think it's possible.
What do the people think? Why don't you put in the comments, do you think that's possible? To see somebody across the room
and not
you
have
just
met
know.
them.
Not have met them, so you don't know them. Maybe you saw them
You
before.
just see them.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you've seen them before.
You saw them before and you was like, they fine. But now all of a sudden you see them and they look back at you, you make eye contact and music starts playing. Is that the one?
Is that the one?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, all right, back to friendship.
Okay. So we say friendship, you say. Friendship is 7.875%.
Yes.
7.875 points.
Yes.
Important out of
Importance
10
out of 10.
for a marriage to be happy.
That's what I say. What do you say?
I say friendship before marriage.
Yes. Scale
I'm
1 to
gonna
10.
say it's about a 5.
A 5, really? I thought you
Yeah.
was gonna go the other way. I thought you was gonna say 9.42867. But you said a 5. Okay. You got me on that one. I wasn't expecting that.
I mean, you can't hate each other and
Right.
get married.
Of course, yeah.
But I think about the situations like I just mentioned. Those people who don't really know each other and have short engagements.
Yeah.
I mean, they are friendly, before they get married and getting to know each other. But can you really say that they're true, intimate, emotional friends?
Right.
Like not like a friend you had since the 2nd grade.
Right. Yeah.
And you slept over their house, they slept over your house, and you have been with them shopping to the grocery store with their mom, and stuff like that. You've seen them fight with their siblings and
Right.
all that kind of stuff. And you can talk to them and be like, you was wrong, you did your sister like so and so, and they're still your friend.
Right. You're saying you don't
Not
have to be that kind of friend.
right.
Okay. So,
Not
but
that
you got to
kind
be
of
some
friend.
kind of friend.
But yeah, you do have to. Yes, you have to be friendly.
Okay.
Yeah, you have to be friendly to each other, but not close, intimate friends
Right.
before
Yeah.
you get married.
Well, see, I'm thinking now you don't have to be close, intimate friends to begin a relationship on the road to marriage. I mean,
No.
last time or a couple times ago, you were talking about courting, and dating.
Yeah.
So maybe you don't have to be close, intimate friends to date
Yes.
and court, but before that marriage,
But before the
Date.
marriage. Okay, so how long do you recommend an engagement from what we're saying, you have a dating period that leads to a courtship, yes?
right?
That leads to an engagement
Oh,
that
okay.
leads to marriage.
Okay. Dang, that's a
So,
lot of stuff.
right. So how long
That
in
whole
a perfect
process?
world,
Uh-huh.
how long do you think that whole process should take?
I think 8 to 12 months.
Really?
Yeah.
Why do you say that?
On most cases. Now,
Uh-huh.
not every time, because, you can see somebody, you just know. And, I mean, I know people we know one couple who's been married for over 50 years, 60 years, almost. And, they just knew at the beginning when they were,
You're talking about Pastor?
don't say it on here.
Oh. Why? Nobody knows. But they knew each other. They
They knew each other,
14
they're
and
14 and 15,
right?
but yeah, they immediately
They knew they were
started-
going to get married at 14 and 15?
They started dating.
True. But then that day, it's a beat. Sorry.
Lord.
Okay. It was going to your foot. Okay. Sorry.
You gotta start, but then that.
Okay.
But wait, don't laugh into it.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, so they started dating at 14 and 15. But they didn't know they were going to get married at 14 and 15.
Right, probably not.
But they got married, 19 years old?
Yeah.
18 and
something like
19 or 19 and 20, something
Mhm.
like that.
that. Yeah.
But that's a long time.
Yeah, that is a long time.
Yeah. That's longer than 8 to 12 months.
Right.
So how'd you come up with 8 to 12 months? I'm sorry.
Because I think that's just the perfect time. How you gonna get to know somebody before you go out with them for 8 months? Really know them.
Right.
I mean, the first few dates, even the first month. I mean, it's sort of that honeymoon period. I don't mean marriage honeymoon period, but I mean that it's that honeymoon period where you're doing everything right. We all know that. You saying the right things, and everything is cool.
Mm-hmm.
And it's all compliments.
Yeah.
Like Sinbad said, you want butter on your popcorn? No, just the butter off your fingers will be all right for me. You going through all that. So you go through all that, but it takes some time to see somebody in an adverse situation or where things don't go the way they want them to go, to see how they react
Yeah.
to you.
Yeah.
That's why I say it should, in most cases, for the most part, there should be some time, some months.
Yes.
I think. Now, I think don't have to be forever, because I think if you're going to get married, I mean, unless you just those people that are not getting married, then, I mean, that's something else. But if that's your goal, then I think likewise, or conversely, you should not make it 2 years and 3 years to be engaged. Look, you know or you don't. Come on, what y'all gonna do?
Yeah, that's
y'all
true.
gonna get married. Stop messing around. Because if you saying it's taking that long, then you're not sure. Then don't do something else. But
Yeah.
that's just my thoughts.
Yeah, I can see that. I think it should take at least a year for the whole process.
So see, you said a year.
At
more than me.
least, yeah, at least a year. Maybe more. I'm saying from meeting
Okay, for meeting.
to marriage is at least a year.
Okay, from
Because
meeting them, yeah.
I mean, if you're a dater and you're going out, then you're dating for some time, and then you're deciding you want to be exclusive, then you're deciding you want to court. That takes some time.
It takes some time.
Assuming people have schedules and a life, and you're not dating every day of the week or whatever. Some time is going in between the dates and in between the times that you see each other.
Right.
I would say a year to 18 months
Okay. Wow. Okay.
for the whole thing
Yeah,
would be smart.
that would be smart.
I think so. Because then you can see people through most of the seasons, like summer, winter, spring, and fall.
Right.
And people tend to change sometimes
Yes.
with the seasons.
Now that is true. People,
So yeah, you get to see them. How are they at 4th of July at the cookout? How
Yeah.
are they at Thanksgiving at the table?
yeah, right.
Do they go to church on Easter or no?
Well, yeah.
Do they celebrate their parents on Mother's Day and Father's Day? And how do they celebrate them? Is that important to them? Those kind of things?
Yeah. Yeah. All those say something about somebody,
Yeah.
and as it relates to a relationship.
Right. And it'll tell you what kind of relationship they have with their siblings. All that kind of stuff.
Right.
So
Yeah. I agree with that.
say
Yeah.
at least
you gotta,
a year to 18
So you
months.
said you got to see, because in March and May it's all good, but we're gonna see when sweet November comes, what happens. Seasons change.
When it's cold, and how are they going to treat you at Valentine's Day?
Oh, okay. Yeah. All
And
right.
at Christmas, are they cheap? Is spending money on a gift, is that a big thing? How much money?
Right.
Is it important to them to stay within a budget? And is that okay with you?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Those kind of things.
What do you agree on? What things beyond their attractiveness
Right. Right.
will keep you? So
Right.
that's good.
You'll see how they live their day-to-day life.
Yeah.
If it's in a consistent way.
Okay.
But so we say it's good to be friends, but is it good to be best friends before you get married?
Well, now, is it good to be best friends before you're married? I personally
So
don't.
that means you're dropping, like if you already have a best friend,
Right.
well, I guess you don't have to drop your other best friend, but you're adding to your best friend.
Well, yeah.
People.
They take a level of importance that is
Right.
above most everybody else.
Right.
Before you're married.
Yes.
Well, I just personally, I don't think you have to be best friends before you're married, and this is why for me.
Why?
Is because I feel like when you get married, you have to have somewhere to grow. See how I
Okay.
put that in there? Somewhere to grow. I just want to make sure you understood how I punned it. Somewhere to grow, not somewhere to go.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh,
So you
okay.
have somewhere to grow to, and she on. But yeah.
I don't get
And
it, but
so,
okay.
Instead of saying somewhere to go, you got somewhere
Okay.
to go. You say you got somewhere,
Somewhere to grow in the
Yeah.
relationship.
Exactly.
Okay, I got you.
Anyway, so you have somewhere to grow together, and being best friends, I think, to me, seems like that would be part of it. Like if you're already best friends, then it's kind of like, not that you won't have anywhere to go or grow, but it's kind of like, where will we grow together as it relates to each other? I mean, we can grow individually, and you can grow, and I can grow that way, but I mean, in terms of us, our relationship as friends, how does that get any better? And I just imagine a marriage, meaning that it gets better. It keeps getting better and better and better. I mean, because to me, that's part of what keeps your marriage good and keeps you together for longevity. Because
it keeps getting better.
yes,
It keeps growing. But wouldn't your marriage grow just out of wouldn't it grow just organically over time because we as people grow and change? Wouldn't the relationship grow and change?
Well, I think that two people can grow,
Yeah.
but the relationship may not necessarily grow.
Okay.
That's just
Well, I
an
guess you would
opinion.
have to work purposefully
Right.
to grow together. Yeah,
Right.
because you could do you could find new interests and grow individually
Right.
to do different things. But that doesn't necessarily mean
That your
the
relationship
relationship is growing.
is growing.
That's true.
Yeah, that's just one thought, one school of thought
Mm-hmm.
that you don't. And I'm not saying you can't be best friends. I just don't feel like it's necessary to be best friends before you're married.
Mm-hmm.
And then that way, to me, it just gives you, some things to tighten up as you move down the road of this relationship.
I think in a perfect world, it would be great to be best friends before you get
you're
married.
Yeah.
This is just me, me personally, because I would feel more secure in knowing that I really know this person and believing that I know just about every part of them at the stage of life that they are when we get married.
Makes sense. Yeah.
So I think that would bring me a sense of real security if we were best friends before we got married. I think that would just be great. I mean, you just know what you're getting into and being happy with that, because obviously if they're your best friend, you're okay with it. You're happy with it.
Right.
I don't know, because I think you're going to grow for sure. Because you're going to change because life goes on, so you will change. But that's just me. That's not for everybody. I think people, lots of people, have gotten and get married and don't know each other all that well.
Yeah.
But who's to say? Do they have the happiest marriage that they could if they had taken the time to really get to know each other
You mean
before
right.
they got married?
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Well,
really
yeah.
don't know.
Well, see, I also think that so if you're best friends before you get married, what about a level of familiarity? I mean, after you're together for so long, and if you're already best friends, then it seems also like you'd have to think you become so familiar, which is not bad, I'm just saying, but you stop discovering things.
Right.
And that's not necessarily true. I mean, you can find other things to discover, but that's what I'm wondering. If you're best friends on that level before you get married, or even once you're married for a few years, do you get to a level of familiarity where now you got to try all kind of stuff to spice up the marriage? You got to go skydiving, and I don't know. Do all kind of stuff to try to.
I think maybe it just depends on the person, because I don't know. Maybe I don't want to work that hard to try to discover new things about a person. I think to me it sounds like a lot of work to try to figure somebody out.
Okay.
It sounds like a lot of work that would be really exhausting.
You don't think that would be just natural though? Like
No. I think it would just be a lot of work.
So you think we knew everything we know about each other now when we got married?
No, not at all. And I think our marriage was a whole lot of work. I know it was for me.
Yeah. But don't you think that's natural for people to, when they get married? I mean, not necessarily a whole lot of work, but I'm saying, but to discover things. I mean, if you're just already comfortable, I mean, what
Well,
you
you know what you know what that person's gonna be down with and what they not gonna be down with.
Right.
And if you best friends, that's all right with you.
Right.
So you ain't got to be like, do you like so and so? You already know they don't like it.
Yeah,
and
that's
then
true.
you know, like if you just want them to do something, and then your friend you be like, look, I know you don't like this, but would you please do such and such and so and so?
Right. Well, that level I can see. I agree with you 100%. I just wonder on separate from that though. I just wonder if you get bored because now you know all those things. There's nothing else to discover, and your relationship is boring.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, okay. So I think it's personality. That's all I
That
think.
could- yeah,
I think it
yeah,
just
you're right. I
depends
mean,
on the
it's-
personality
yeah,
of the
who
people.
knows?
Because if you're the kind of person who can eat the same thing for breakfast every
Oh,
day for the rest of your life,
I could do that.
I could too. Well, that's weird though, because no, to be honest, I couldn't. I
No?
couldn't.
Well,
No,
it depends on
I
what it
couldn't.
was.
Well, I guess maybe.
I mean,
but no, I
it's-
think I would get tired of
it's Cocoa
anything.
Puffs, I got
Yeah,
you.
right. Every day. But I am a person of routine though. So
Right,
if
right,
I
yes.
can
Yeah,
have
I'm-
basically the same routine every day, then why wouldn't I want to marry somebody that I really, really knew?
Yeah,
You know, that I really, really knew them.
right. Well, that's a good question. Best
But
friends.
that's just me.
Yeah, best friends. Our son thinks you should be best friends. He wrote a song about it.
My best friend. Da, 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 da. It's a good song too. I like it.
Yeah, it needs some work, but it's pretty good.
Keep his name on your mouth. Michael David Carter,
Oh Lord,
budding artist, coming your way
welcome to the promotion
in
channel.
the next 5 years or so. 4 or 5 years. I give him about 5 years.
Yeah. Okay. We'll see. See what happens.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he ain't got no faith.
I got faith. I think he's gonna do it.
Got no faith. Okay, guys, we're outside behind the house. I'm looking up at the house. Why is the house 2 different colors up
I
there?
don't know. I saw that
I
when we
haven't
first started.
Never.
Didn't the people paint
noticed
the
that.
house?
But they didn't paint it.
I thought we paid people $2,000 and paint this house.
No,
I thought
just
they
the
painted
borders and stuff. But they didn't.
They didn't paint that. That looked like a border to me. I don't know what it is.
Well, I guess it does, but I've never noticed it before right now.
Well-
It looks crazy.
You know what I have to say about that? I know from being married to you for more than 20 years that you like painting. So,
But I'm
just
not
gonna say
getting up there to paint anything, that's for sure.
That's above the second story.
Yeah, no, that will not be me.
But I thought you liked painting. If you like it,
I
you gotta-
used to like painting.
hmm
I cannot imagine myself painting anything else at this point in my life.
Okay.
I cannot imagine. Now, I'm not saying I won't,
Right.
but I cannot
Your
imagine
painting years
doing
are
it.
behind you.
But yes, I think so. Except for Renee said she wanted, if she moves in Nia's room, she wants to paint it.
No, but look, now let's just analyze your sentence.
Okay.
Renee said when she moves into Nia's room,
Mm-hmm.
she wants to paint it.
But she can't
I'm
paint
taking
it all
everything literal as
She
word
wants to paint
for
it.
word
because he will let her do the whole
what
thing.
she's saying.
Because he does not want to do any of it.
No, I'm not a painter.
Yes.
Yeah,
He complains quite a bit.
I'm not a painter.
But he can.
Oh, I
He
can
just
paint
doesn't
now.
want to.
I could if I had to. I mean, if he's gonna give me some money, a whole lot of money, I tighten it up now. I get my little what's that thing, the side thing, put on there, put up against it.
Mm-hmm.
I have my little, brush. I can do it all. I cover the floor with a drop cloth. I know how to mix paint. The little thing,
The little thing.
the one thing, the little wood thing. I know. Yeah, I can do it.
Yeah, we've done a lot of painting over
Yes.
22 years.
Yes, we have.
And it makes you very tired.
Yes.
I do like the outcome though when we're finished.
Yeah.
I generally like it, but
Yeah, you do.
it's a lot of work.
You've done a good job.
Well, thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, so moving on. What do you think about how friendship in a marriage? How has friendship in your parents' marriage, your grandparents' marriage, whatever marriage you were exposed to? How did that affect your interpretation of what marriage should be?
Right. Yes, I have no idea. Because I'm probably not a good person to ask because I really didn't pay attention. I was just trying to play football. I wanted to play for the Steelers when I was little. And then when I couldn't do that, After I got hurt in high school, I just joined the band. So I really did not look at what all the intricacies of my mom and dad's marriage and my grandparents were married, but they just, they just did stuff. They were just grandparents. They yelled, but to me, their yelling was like just part of life. Mm-hmm. That was just her going, Carl! And he'd be like, oh, and then he'd do whatever it is she said, and they just grumbled and yelled, and
So, did you ever see them laugh with each other and have a good time?
Yeah, a few times, but I really wasn't paying attention. I wasn't looking for that, because it was just, I don't know, I just wasn't looking for it. My grandfather just did whatever she said. When he come pick me up from school, I say, Gramps, can we go to McDonald's? He said, no, it's orders from headquarters. I'm just take you straight home. So I knew he just did what she said, but I don't know that I was looking for that. But I'm sure there's a reason that that's a good idea. And you're going to tell us what it is.
I don't know that I'm going to tell you what it is. I just wonder, how, if you see a marriage that is full of friendship, what is it? You saw a bug or something, didn't you?
I didn't see a bug. I was trying to get you to keep this down
out
of the...
I thought you saw a bee.
No.
I'm sorry. How does that, when you see a marriage that exhibits friendship among the spouses, and it's in your household or at least close to you, how does that help you in your own marriage?
Now wait a minute. Okay, so start all over. Say that again.
Okay. How does experiencing someone else's marriage as a child that is happy and friendly, how does that help you when you become an adult and get into your own marriage?
Right.
Like, I'm sure you go into marriage thinking it's supposed to be whatever kind of way.
Right.
So if you are a if you're a kid and you're in a household and marriage is not friendly, and then you grow up and you get married, you're not expecting to be friends with your spouse, probably. Maybe maybe it is important to you, but maybe not, know.
Yeah. Well, that is true. Obviously, I think if you experience or what is your word? If you see bad marriage or bad marriages with your uncle and aunt or your mom and dad or whatever, then obviously that's going to play a big part in your expectations of marriage. But what if you don't see that? What if you just, some stuff you don't see. Sometimes people just stay together, for the kids, or they, know, and so I think for me, I just didn't pay attention. My mom and dad were just, it was a few times they argued, but as long as they wasn't coming after me with the belt, I was like, y'all do y'all's thing, I'm watching the game.
Right. You didn't care.
Yeah.
So, yeah. So this guy was not an observant.
I wasn't observant.
Kid.
I make a terrible police officer, because I don't know what color shirt the perpetrator had on and what time of day it was.
So, okay. So what was your expectation of marriage?
My expectation was to get married and stay married. That's my expectation. And
by any means necessary.
By any means necessary. No, I did and still do to this day have an expectation of being friends and doing stuff together. Enjoying each other. I know, so when you say expectations, I know that there are times in the marriage where it's going to be rough.
Right.
I'm not speaking negatively, I'm just saying that's, realistic. No matter who you are, there are going to be times when you get on each other's nerves or disappoint one another or whatever. But I don't expect that. My expectation, even though I know that is a possibility, my expectation is to enjoy each other and to be able to go through hard times and laugh and be able to share your most intimate failures and that type of thing. That's what I think a spouse is. Somebody who you can share, your deepest, darkest secrets or whatever it may be, your failures, your embarrassments or whatever, and that person won't shun you, but they would, you know,
Accept you.
accept you, even if they're have to correct you. I'm not saying they just like, oh, it's okay, but they would accept you. They're not going to leave.
Right. So where do you think your expectation for marriage came from?
I don't have any idea. I have no idea.
What do you think, man?
I don't. Well, it didn't come from my parents because that was not the case.
Okay, yeah.
But
But you don't know where it came from? You think it was from movies or books you read or what?
Maybe in part, a little bit. I mean, I probably wouldn't be telling the truth if I didn't say it was. But I didn't look at a movie marriage and say, oh, that's the way marriage is. In fact, I was the opposite.
You think it was the Huxtables?
No. No. By the time I saw them, I was like,
you were a
no.
little older because what was that, like 84 or something? So you were
Yeah.
already 18
Yeah.
or so.
Yes. So I knew. I was like, no.
George Jefferson, there you go. Or Good Times.
Yeah. Now that's more like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, George Jefferson. Yeah.
So-
James in Florida.
James in Florida. Yeah.
Some of y'all young people don't know James in Florida. They had to make it in Chicago. And we lucky we got them.
Good time.
Yeah. There you go. So I first seen Janet Jackson.
Yeah.
But anyway,
He said Janet Jackson. She was a little bitty girl.
yeah, she was.
Well,
Where do you think you got your expectations? Or what are your expectations for marriage? Maybe I should know this. I need the tablet so I can start writing stuff down.
I think going into a marriage, what was my expectation for marriage? Woo-hoo. I think it was
Because
That-
you've been exposed to a whole lot of stuff, so I don't know what. I'm anxious to hear this, even though I just cut you off. But
I've been exposed to a whole lot of stuff. That's true.
yes,
I think it was, this is going to sound really stupid and naive, for us to be soulmates. Now, I had no idea what that meant.
well,
I had no idea what that meant.
don't you watch The Good
But-
Place? They talk about soulmates.
I've seen it a couple times.
Okay.
But yeah, that the expectation was that my spouse and I would be soulmates, and I still don't know what that means, to be quite honest with you.
Yeah, I really don't know.
So
what that
I think
means
I just had like a romantic view of marriage that was not realistic at all. I think it was just based. I think that's why I don't like romantic comedies now, because I think that's what my expectation of marriage was like. You know, everything would just be like in the movies, and I guess there would be violins behind you or what. I don't know. Yeah. So yeah,
So you saw Sleepless in Seattle.
I did. And what's that other? There was another one. You Got Mail,
You
or is
Got
that the
Mail.
same movie?
It basically is. It's a different movie, but it's
But that's the name of
Same.
the movie. You
Yeah.
Got Mail. Yeah, I saw both of those.
same two characters.
Yeah. Yeah. So I saw movies like that, and they were probably not the best for me to build my expectation
Yeah.
for relationships and marriage. So, yeah,
Okay, so you had that expectation.
yeah.
What is your expectation now, especially as it relates to friendship?
My expectation now is that we would be, me and you particularly, would be friends in the sense that we just accept each other for who they are and be able to tell each other when we're getting on each other's nerves and say, look, this is my boundary.
This is my boundary.
Yes, you need to change this. This get on my nerves. If you don't change this, then we got a problem. And respect each other enough to change it. Or if not, say, I ain't finna change that, and then we gonna go on from there. See, to see, you know, what else we come up with. So that's my standards are not too high. I
Oh,
guess
well,
I don't know, but
Might be
yeah.
high standards. Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I'm looking for right now.
Okay.
Friendship. We ain't even got to do a whole lot together. I mean, we do stuff because we do music and stuff together, but we don't.
Yeah.
I'm an individual too.
Yes,
you
you
know.
are.
So
Yeah. I'll try and get you to go golfing.
I already told you that hurts my back. We said that last time. It hurts
Oh.
my back.
Well, what about bowling?
That little slight bend and twist is not working.
Well, okay.
I like bowling. You never want. You do. See, we already been through this.
What?
Your Renaissance rebirth because I used to try to do stuff like bowling. You was not into it
What's I
with
not-
the
what-
kids. With all, when I just say, come on, let's go skating.
Well-
Skate. Come on, let's go bowling.
No.
You didn't never want to do nothing.
No, the
only
kids hated
thing
bowling.
they did
Do you
not
remember
hate
that?
it. They
Oh
was,
my goodness.
they did not. You
You
have
got a
to.
short memory.
No, you have to keep going so they get to like it, because it can be kind of boring because you just sit and wait for everybody to take their turn.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a lot of money to play the games and eat, then for a kid, it can be kind of boring. But you have to, keep going and invite other families and stuff like that so the kids can play and everybody bowls. But you was not into it. The only thing you did that I implemented was swimming.
Oh yeah, we go swimming.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
The kids grew out of swimming. He still
Yeah,
likes
I
to
go
swim.
swimming now.
The kids got on no, we don't want to go swimming anymore.
I don't know why.
But yeah. But that was the only thing. Everything else you were not down with.
Well, so we had the episode about empty nesters.
Yeah.
So friendship does play into this, because now, how do you feel? Do you feel like we have to look for new things though to do?
Yes, that's why we're doing this Saving Us.
Oh, so we're saving us.
That's exactly why
This
we're
is
saving
something
us.
new. Okay.
So yes, I think it's important for us to look to new things to do, and hopefully we will both keep working and be able to travel, because that's what I would like to do.
Keep working and traveling. I'm trying to figure out this.
Yeah.
Okay. Keep working and traveling.
Yeah.
I'd like that. That's good.
That's what I would like to do.
Yeah. So all right. So you think we can become better friends?
I think it's possible. I think we will. Why? Because we're committed to marriage. We
saving
can
us.
do it. We
Yes.
are saving us. And I think our friendship will save our marriage.
Wow. So you think a friendship can save a marriage?
I think, yes. I think I think you have to let it save a marriage.
Right,
I don't
right.
think it automatically saves a marriage, because even when you're friends and you're not married,
Uh-huh.
one person can offend the other so badly that they say, forget you, I don't
Get
want to be
that.
your friend anymore. So it's possible to split up, but I think you can allow your friendship to save your marriage. Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So now, what about? So do you think that in every situation that your
That is-
friendship can
it's
save?
possible?
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean.
I think it's possible. Yes, I think it is possible.
Okay.
I don't. It might not be healthy in
Well,
every situation,
yeah.
but I think it's possible in
Okay.
every situation. Yes.
I mean, because you're talking about everything now. You're talking about infidelity and
Yeah.
well, we just call it cheating,
Yeah.
or whatever else.
I think yes,
Abuse.
but I think in my
see.
situation, physical abuse could not save.
Which
I mean, friendship between the spouses, me and you, if there was physical abuse, it could not save the marriage. It would not be possible. It could be possible for some people, they could separate for a while and then
right,
rebuild the relationship and then get back together
right,
with the understanding that they're not going to be violent.
right.
So I think that, but I think that's allowing the friendship to save the marriage. That's why I say it's possible.
It's possible
It's possible. That could never work for me.
with physical violence.
Never.
Okay, or physical abuse.
Either one.
You're talking about other than how I physically abuse you on the golf course.
Well, that doesn't count
No.
because it hurts my back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that does count. No, I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
There's no excuse for that.
No.
You know.
Because think about it. If somebody hits you and it hurts, even if it doesn't hurt, if they just hit you out of anger, there is nothing that says that any situation won't escalate to that point again.
Right. Yeah.
There's nothing that says that. Even if it's your fault, there's nothing that says I won't make you mad enough for you to hit me again.
Right. Yeah, that's not an excuse. Yeah. Whose fault it is.
Yeah.
For physical abuse, no.
There's nothing that says, that the situation won't bring itself for that to happen again. So I just say goodbye.
Yeah.
That's a one-time
you.
deal. Yeah.
Okay. So friendship could save a marriage due to infidelity.
I think so. Now I think my opinion. Now it's probably not for everybody. I think it would be good to separate again.
Right.
Figure out why one person or both people were unfaithful to each other. Discuss that. See if we have something to work with as far as marriage goes. And see if we want the friendship to help us to get back together.
Right.
If not, maybe we could still be friends. Maybe not intimate friends, like, emotional intimacy and all that, but you could still be friends, check in on each other and all that, but just not be married. So
Right.
there's forgiveness has happened, but then
Right.
there a new boundary has been set up.
A new boundary. I got
So, can friendship save a marriage? It can, if you let it.
you. Okay. Which is another reason that it's important to be friends.
Right.
If you can, right?
Yeah.
Before you're married.
Yeah.
If it's possible. Sometimes, like you said, at the beginning, you see somebody and you just know.
Mm-hmm.
But it's
That
good.
car was right there. Did you see that?
No.
It was in the grass.
What
And
car
then
was
it
in
just
the
went
grass?
back down the street.
Oh, no. I missed all that. See?
Not
I'm not
observant.
observant. I don't know. It could have been the police be like, now, where was the car? I'd be like,
Because I was like, why is the car behind the house?
well,
It looked like it was in the grass.
our neighbors. Ain't gonna tell them what they doing.
Yeah, it's true.
Yeah.
Y'all, we got some neighbors. They're old like us, a little bit older, seem
Yeah.
like. They was playing the music so loud one day. I was in the house, everything was closed. It sounded like the music was in my room. They were playing with each other. The neighbors, they crossed the street from each other. They was playing.
They was playing.
They were
I don't
playing.
even know what they was
I was
doing.
like, oh man, what? We're not in the party. You didn't
Well,
invite us.
No, we didn't. Now, what song was they playing? I mean,
It was for somebody you like
if it was Earth, Wind,
Isley
and Fire
Brothers or something like
okay.
that.
Well, you can forgive somebody for Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Well, it's probably why I wasn't, irate. But I was
Yeah.
like, still,
Fred
I wasn't
Hammond, something
invited
like
to the
that.
party.
Yeah. I
So
understand.
why? Why? These were not even kids. They're old people. I don't know.
Well,
I don't know.
yeah. We still
Okay.
playing okay music. All right. So friendship. Is your spouse your friend? That is the question. And should they be your friend? Should you be friends before you get married? And should you be best friends before you get married? So those are the questions.
Should you?
Those are the questions out there.
Yep. All right. Tell us what you think about it. If you enjoyed what you heard, then we ask you to like this channel, subscribe, share it with a friend, and rate us on your podcast, okay?